think maybe... hello guys, we're back.
Indeed we are, and let me bring you up to speed on this game, because apparently you've not been able to see the vast majority of it, if not all of it.
No, I think
Um,
it's the delay server is kind of bugged, so I turned it off and it seemed to work now. But I don't know, it hasn't had this problem before, so...
well, right now
so
both players are in a very similar position. FY Known took his extra gas a little bit earlier, so he does have much more gas to play with than his opponent. He's also slightly behind in drone count on Minari, but other than that, it's all quite even.
it is. It's good that you're bringing us up to speed, because I didn't watch the game either, trying to sort out the stream, so...
No, the only other important difference is Minari does have a Baneling nest going down, and it looks like he is going to try and take his third.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He probably just wants those banelings as defensive ones. Not trying to do much. Except
Well,
sending changelings over.
both of them are getting the roach speed upgrade, of course, very wise, you do want that. I think those banelings were just for earlier defense. I don't think there'll be much use in a roach battle, but I suppose it's okay. If he wants to feel extra safe, he can do that.
Yeah. Seems like it's more or less the same combination. Just the banelings being different from Minari.
Oh, yes.
And they're probably not gonna help against the roaches, but they are gonna clear out a lot of speedlings if
Oh, yes.
they get to connect that.
Taking a look at the income tab again, Minari is still ever so slightly ahead, but in army supply, the advantage goes to Known just by a very small amount, though. It has to be said, no great difference between the two players, both just wanting to get on 3 base, and I imagine that's when we'll start seeing some craziness come out. We may see a Spire or something go down, but no, a Hydralisk den coming down from Minari, so this could go into a Roach Hydra
Oh, a
Infestor
push coming
fight,
up
which
high.
are very fun.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
a push
Known
coming
is
out for FY Known, yeah.
moving across the map. He seemed a bit indecisive there. He wasn't sure if he wanted to go back or not. And I
I
wonder
think
why
maybe
he's
he
going
just
up
wants to
this way.
poke in and see, because I saw that he hasn't scouted the third yet for Monari. And Monari definitely saw the third of FY Known because of his changeling. So probably just wants to make a poke and not do too much with this, I suppose.
I hope that is the case, because Minari has quite a few more roaches than Known, but it does look like Known is going to go for it and try and snipe this third. Oh, the Queen is going to go down straight away, but the base cannot go down. There's too many roaches. He
Yeah,
has to
Monari has so many roaches, there's no way that FY Known is gonna take this down.
That is true. And of course now, Minari getting quite a bit ahead in the drone count, more than 10 drones ahead because of that attack.
Oh,
He wasn't
yes.
really building too many units, he was just droning. More roaches coming out for Known, determined to keep that roach count up. Neither player really teching into too much. We do have Minari going for his hive, and Known
FY
will
Known
be
is
doing
as well. Well, you mean FY Known is going for hive war? No.
Did I get that wrong? I did get that wrong. I blame blue and purple. I must be colorblind. I was thinking, I'm looking at FY Known. He's got his infestation pit. And nothing's happening.
No, he hasn't made any upgrades from it, so we are not seeing any signal for Infestor or Swarm Wolves or anything like that. He just wants to go straight to Hive, I think.
Yes, I'm getting slightly concerned about him. I think we should see some higher tech units coming out from him soon. I mean, his opponent, Minari, is getting quite a few Hydralisks, and their DPS is always a nice advantage to have. And the army supply still slightly in favour of Minari, not by too much. Income also slightly in favour of Minari. He just seems to be in a little bit of a better position for me, other than his hive is going to be later.
Yeah, we're both waiting out, trying to get 200, I suppose, before they attack. Usually that's how Gold League goes.
Oh yes.
Trying to build up a huge army and then attack. That's one thing we see a lot here.
Known is going for an earlier fourth, and I like this. It will give him a greater gas income. He's had more gas from the start of the game. He's always favoured taking his assimilators earlier than Minari, and it will allow him to just get out more of that high tech when it comes to that. But still, we need to see what units he's going to make.
Yeah,
He's
and he
not really
hasn't
giving us many clues.
he hasn't even utilized the high tech yet. It might be
Oh,
there's an Ultralisk cavern going down. So he's going Ultralisks here. What
is the
can
case.
Monari really do to do against this? Because I suppose
I'm a little
roaches are
worried.
fine, but they're not fast enough, I
Yes,
think.
but this is what I'm worried. Minari is maxed out. He could move across the map now before this Ultralisk tech comes into play, and at the moment, he has the superior army. I mean, he also has superior upgrades. His missile upgrades are done, and almost attack level 2 done, and he's just going to march across the map.
Oh yeah, and have the superior DS as well. Oh, well, did
Oh,
he bring an overseer? Yes, he did.
And that many Hydralisks is going to melt a lot of these roaches. So much DPS.
If I know, I don't think. Why is he just running under him?
He's trying to get to the Hydralisk, I think. What?
Oh,
What's he doing?
well, he's sniped a couple of them.
Oh yes, he's got a few, but I don't think that was worth it. He's allowed the entire army of Minari to go on by, and he still has to fight it.
Oh yeah, and
Oh, he is taking those Hydralisks out though. That is good. The Roaches should be tanking for them, but still, Minari just has a bigger army.
yeah, this is a complete numbers game. And F1 didn't get his Ultralisk out in time. He gets some roaches down now. Maybe he's
no.
gonna hold this, but I don't think it's gonna be enough.
I don't think so. There's just too few Roaches coming out from separate locations, whereas Minari's army is together. It is strong, and I don't think he'll be able to defeat this.
No, probably gonna see GG from him soon. The supply difference is so much.
The enduring Locust upgrade coming out from Known, thinking maybe Swarm Hosts will save the day, but there are observers with Minari's army, so
Yeah,
I
it's not
don't think we're
make
going to
any
see
difference.
any crazy miracle like that happen.
He isn't even making any. Well, yeah, he's not making any.
Well, the supply tells the story 196 to 79. I think we should see the GG out of Known here soon in this first game. Both
yeah.
players going for the macro, but FY Known just not seeing that attack coming. Still hilariously trying to get his armor upgrade on his Ultralisks. I don't think that's going to be a relevant factor in the next 10 seconds. Oh, and that Ultralisk Cavern will get sniped. GG is called.
GG, yeah.
Minari goes up 1-0 in this best of 3.
We had 2 Vipers and 2 Ultralisk producing at the last second, but I don't know what they're gonna do.
No.
The Dust Cloud might work, might help a little bit, but then again... Well...
It was just a macro game and he didn't see the attack coming and it cost him his life. Well, cost him game 1. He is still in it. He could win the next game.
Oh yeah, he's the one who picks the next map, so he's definitely gonna...
Oh, yes. And Stardust, quite a big map.
Favor.
It was kind of expected that they would play more likely a macro game, even though ZVZ is quite messy in the early stages. But this game, we could see a 10 pool or something like that. But no, choosing Whirlwind, another large map.
Oh yeah. At least I think we're gonna see a macro game now. I've seen a couple of people doing 10 pull even on in CVC, even on Diamond League and on World.
Yeah.
So you never know. But then again, this is kind of a macro map.
Oh, yes. I mean, the problem is the rush distance. First, you don't know where your opponent's going to spawn on Whirlwind.
Oh yeah.
And if you go for the early pool, you really need your Lings to do something, and they just aren't. It'd be much more economical to go for either a 14 pool or just hatch first. Yeah, so I would be quite surprised if we saw the early pool coming out from either player.
It would be cool to see some variance in this game. I don't mind any macro games though, because yesterday we had only cheeses. I mean, only cheeses from both players.
Yes, though it did demonstrate, we did learn some crucial things about how to 4-gate correctly and how to proxy 2-gate correctly.
Oh yeah,
Things
we
that
did.
every Protoss player should know.
A little bit on how to counter early Dark Templar when you go the right build.
Oh yes. The simple solution is cancel the Immortal you are building and build the Observer.
Oh yeah.
Good strategy. Very strong against Dark Templar, that. Okay, so we are loading into this game on Whirlwind, and let's have a look at the positions we spawn in. Come on, Minari. Oh my god, cross positions on Whirlwind. This is definitely going to be a macro game.
Oh yeah.
Just a huge map, and oh, again, look at all the white dots on the minimap.
Yeah, that's the
Those
destructible
destructible
rocks.
The neutral command centers of doom.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, this time, thankfully, slightly different colours. In the top left, we have our Red Zerg, Minari, currently up 1-0. All he needs is this game to win.
Oh yeah.
In the bottom right, Our Purple Zerg, FY known, has to win this game. Ooh, had an idle drone there for a second. Maybe slightly thrown off mentally, and oh! Oh, I'm an idiot. I was like, what? He's taking his gas now? Just the extractor trick for that extra
Oh
supply.
yes.
But still the idle drone.
Well, this is gonna be huge. Actually, we saw a similar game in I think it was Platinum League last week. Or was it like Gold? I don't remember. I think it was Platinum maybe. And we had a ZVC match. One of the players left one of the earliest pro drones, just not mining the entire, oh, not the entire game, but the first 3 minutes, and he, just because of that, he was behind in the entire game after that, and he never got back up actually.
Now,
So
a little thing
crucial.
to note, FY known is drone scouting once again. On a map like this, it will actually give him a slight advantage. He will find his opponent earlier, given the spawning positions and the Overlord scouting. So he's going to find Minari first, but I really don't think it's going to say too much. Neither of these players is going to cheese this game. Both of them probably will just go for the hatch first. And indeed, Known just going to place this hatchery now.
And none of them know where each other are. They're sending overlords in both directions, and as you said, the drone scout is moving about and checking, hopefully for the last corner, which the overlords will never get.
We are actually starting to see the effects of that idle drone and the drone scout combined. It should be noted that Minari's hatchery is a little bit earlier in this case, and we do have a spawning pole. Pole? Going down
Spawning pole, that would be so awesome.
There's too many words. Minari, Finone. It just sounds weird in my head. I do maths, not English. God,
Oh.
damn it.
A fast third from Minari. He's playing very greenly.
Wow. That is a very, very early third. But again, they are in cross positions on this map, though he does not know that yet. So that's actually quite a risk to do that. And oh, is the drone going to scout it from Known?
As you say, it's quite a risk, and no, he doesn't.
No,
he doesn't scout it,
it.
and I don't. Usually, we see a lot of people just running up the ramp. At least when it comes to, at least in Gold and Silver League and stuff, people don't scout so much. So they just go up the ramp and they forget. Especially on this map, it's so easy to hide an expansion. And
Oh, yes.
Minari didn't hide his third, but often people forget to check the third, so it
Oh, yes.
might be beneficial to him, but we'll see how that goes.
It's going to take a while for it to be scouted. I mean, this Overlord of Knowns in the bottom left corner of the map is going to see it eventually, but by the time it does,
Oh,
he might have the units.
look at
to
this
hold
beautiful clash of overlords in the bottom left.
Kiss.
Oh, they're gonna kiss. No, they just
No,
missed it.
They don't like it. Not interested.
That could have
just
been
going
so
separate
perfectly
maps.
timed.
Anyway, just taking a quick look at the income tab, it's actually fairly similar, which is surprising considering Minari invested in that third hatchery so quick. He should be a little bit behind on drones, but only one behind, doing quite well.
But again, those numbers can change pretty quickly, as we see here
Oh,
now. Drones are made in a very rapid rate, so. But as you say, they're quite close in that regard. So. But I think Minari is gonna pull ahead when he has his third hatchery up and running.
Oh yes, and there's also Minari actually got his spawning pool later, but he got his gas earlier, which is actually very clever because he knew he didn't need the early lings. He just went for the gas so he could get his speedling research done a lot quicker, and for this Baneling Nest. And if we take a look, the speedling research is not even started for Known, so he's behind on macro, and that speedling difference is huge. It will mean that. Ooh, Minari. I'm gonna start calling these red and purple. The red Zerg will have speed a lot earlier, and will be able to just really dictate the fights.
Oh yeah, but I don't think Known is going for. He's going for a fast lair, having two gases in his. Not saturated though, but he does have them. So maybe he wants to go for a fast Mutalisk tech, maybe. Since he hasn't even gotten the speed up yet. I mean, 2B's Mutalisk might be the right choice against Minari here, even though he only scouted his third now, but he could have just been put down. He doesn't know it was an early one, so
Oh yes,
I don't think that changes much.
that is true. However, it still will make Known feel threatened. He'll think he's behind on economy. Something has to happen. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
are right. We see the Spire going up for Known.
Oh yeah. And Roche is going for Monori, so this is definitely
Yeah.
None's game if he gets those Mutalisks up in time.
I have a feeling Minari's just going to do the same build before, but with this earlier third. I think he feels confident. He knows he's ahead. He knows his opponent doesn't have a third, so as long as he defends this, he'll be in good shape. But these Mutalisks are going to be very, very early on the field. And it's granted that Spores do a lot of damage, and we have Spine Crawlers coming down at the third, but that's not going to help against Mutalisk. He doesn't know this is coming. Spire getting very near to completion, 700 health. I don't know. I'm not sure. One queen at each base, that's not going to stop Mutalisks. He has to put down the Spore Crawlers instantly upon those coming across, but apart from that, he still has a very big advantage.
But does he know though? Yes, he's gonna see it now. He's gonna see the Spire. Monaris is it? He knows it's coming, but is it soon enough?
So...
The Mutalisks are already morphing in.
Did he notice though? He should have seen it. Yes, the Spore Crawler's starting to come down from Minari, and with how strong they are now, Minari, I don't think this Mutalisk play is going to work.
It depends. If you just put one Spore Crawler in each base, it's not gonna be enough.
Yeah.
You need at least 3. Yeah, Monar has that sorted out in his natural, and in his third. Yeah, those Mutalisks aren't gonna do much.
Oh, wow! Nones forgot Ling speed. I've just noticed his Ling's coming into the third of Minari. He's completely forgotten that Ling speed.
Maybe he thought,
saving
well,
the
I can
gas.
get another Mutalisks out for that price.
Yes. But that is so dangerous a tactic. And look at his minerals, 2.5k minerals. He really needs to be using those, but he doesn't really have the hatcheries. His third is just so late.
This is
He
true.
just can't use. He just can't spend his minerals fast enough.
Yeah, he did get his. I'm not sure why he. Well, bleh. You know, stuff.
Yeah, I think he's
talk and
unnerved.
stuff.
I think he's unnerved from the first game. I mean, forgetting Ling speed, he might have done it intentionally, but I seriously doubt it. And now these Mutalisks, there's spores all over the place.
Oh,
It's just
they're gonna be shot down.
Oh no, he's trying to fight. You can't fight the queens with that.
No.
And he does back off.
Monar is doing an excellent defense here, just being
yeah.
very on the toes.
I'm getting very, very scared. I mean, these roaches coming into the third of Known, probably not going to be able to kill it. He should be able to get back to defend it, but saying that, he's not reacting to it. He might lose this base, and that will be absolutely catastrophic.
Oh yeah. Then again, Hydralisks coming out from Nari.
Oh.
I think he's
He's-
in a good spot right now.
Oh yes, I mean, he snipes his third. That is just huge. Known as already having a hard time spending his money. 3,000 minerals. He honestly needs to build like 2 proxy hatches in his main and take a third and a fourth to have
And
a
just
chance.
spam
of back
Zerglings or
Mutalisks.
whatever, anything really.
But now Hydralisk's coming across the map. What's he going to do against this?
Oh yeah. I mean, even just massing a lot of spine crawlers would be fine because you use your money before.
Oh yes, he needs to spend his
before
money.
anything.
And we can definitely see this in the supplies now. 140 for Minari to the 110 of Known. And
Yeah.
just Minari's got the superior army here. I mean, there's a few Mutalisks, but I mean, against Hydralisk, and the Banelings will make short work of those Lings. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think definitely that Monar is looking to attack right now. He sends some
Yes.
reinforcements in to join his army.
Known sling speed research finishing up at the 13-minute mark, very standard. And the Overlord's just dancing past his Mutalisks. But this huge army from Minari, I mean, what can he do? Known's trying to take a third now, but I think it's way too late.
I don't know, man. It's way too many Hydralisks. You can always do something if you have enough Mutalisks, but he doesn't really. I kind of thought he would be. His 4th gas was a little bit too late. He should have at least utilized all the gas in both bases for it to work properly. But then again,
Minari just comfortably taking his 4th. I don't know if Minari actually expects to win here. I don't think he realizes if he knew the size of this army, he would just march down here and attack.
yeah.
Yeah. Still pumping out meters. No, and I don't know what that's going to do. I think he's going to back off and seize this army. He has to back off. He can't
yes.
fight it. But where can he back off into? He's just going to lose his natural. Oh, these Hydralisks.
so many of them. He's making a lot of links right now, and he should definitely hold on to until... No! He's losing his Mutalisks. This will be the end.
Very expensive.
Well,
there are
he's
actually
killing a lot of
yes.
Hydralisks, actually.
The splash damage from the Muta is worth doing a lot of wonders, but that's
yeah.
just not cost effective. Too many Hydralisks.
And the Zerglings are just running right past, getting killed in the process.
I think he's going to have to GG. I mean, even if he doesn't lose his natural, he's going to lose every drone in his natural.
Oh yeah, and he's lost so much supply, while most of Minori's stuff is not actually in this attack. So GG from FY Node.
Yes, GG.
Minori moves on. I'm wondering to see if we're gonna Infligery. We're gonna see Infligery or Destar in the finals.
Well, that was very bizarre. I mean, the Korean Zerg actually lost it.
Yeah.
EU.
Oh yeah, that's what you would go with all
those
the way.
Koreans, they've got to be scared. They should fear us now. We've got players like Naniwa. Yes. Okay. So, obviously a Zerg went through from this match. So, the next match should be a ZV something, though I don't know what the something is yet. We're going to find out.
I think they're both are Protoss.
Oh. Oh, yes. So, possibly more cheese, but probably not against Zerg. Interesting comment from Known. Impossible to execute 2-base meter play without a third. Actually, 2-base meter is a very, very old style. It was used in Wall a lot, but 3-base is a lot more
works very well. It's just that FY Known, one of the things is that he didn't get his gases soon enough, and I think his fourth gas never actually got used until after his Mutalisk attack, which is way too late.
I mean, that early third from Minari is just so powerful. By the time it was scouted, it was too late to do anything about. He just had a much superior economy, but there wasn't really much stopping Known from getting a much earlier third of his own. I don't know why he didn't really. I guess he was on tilt slightly from the last game. He had idle drones at the start of the game, which is never a good thing.
It was a very good timing from Minari as well. If he didn't scout the... if he didn't get that... I mean, he barely got that Spire before he got shot down with his Overseer. So that could have actually been a make or break game for him if he didn't get that scout down.
So, game 2 should be a PvZ between our players. And one of my favourite... Well, I should say it used to be my favourite matchup until Swarm Hosts were created. Thank you, Blizzard, so much for that. I hate you.
Alright. Well.
Hang on a minute. They're still fighting?
Yeah. Destar and Infligery.
They're playing PvP, correct?
Yeah. But Destar, he's one of those players who almost never cheeses. That's very interesting.
So he's a macro PvPer?
Yeah, he is.
Rare.
It's very rare, and it's gonna make the games pretty long, actually. It seems that they're done now, and see how that worked out. One. Oh, nice.
Oh. So they are currently tied. Ooh.
That's interesting. I think Infligery may be the maybe he's the cheesing type. I mean, which Protoss isn't the cheesing type in Gold League? I mean,
yeah.
Every single Protoss does forget. I'm pretty sure you have done so a lot of times as well.
Oh, yes. Everyone is. Protoss says that they've never forgotten on ladder is lying to you. It's quite simple.
Well, we could just do that.
Sure, I'll set it up. Since we have to wait for these two Protoss players to finish their game, me and Fortessi, my brilliant caster here.
Forsetti, thank you.
Forsetti? Did I get it wrong? Fortessi? Ah, Forsetti. See, there's too many names. There's just too many names in the universe. I can't do maths tonight. I can't pronounce anything. I'm a wreck. Oh, what map doesn't really matter.
Actually, they proposed that we can cast the last game.
Oh, of course we can. I'm being an idiot. Exactly. So let's get in there and see this final PvP.
Well, it looks like they have already started. So that
No.
was a bad timing.
Excellent. And also, I cannot actually create this match because we are in a party with a lot of other players, and it won't let me create a 1v1 when you have 4 players in the party.
Okay, invite Fox code.
Oh, you're doing the work. Excellent.
I'm just being invited into the game, not into the group. So,
Joining the game.
alright. Nice.
Oh, so we have got in. Excellent. Whew.
Yeah, you can actually do that now without making a party. That's pretty nice.
Hmm.
So we're gonna watch the third game of this other bracket here, where I believe the situation is a 1-1.
Yes, indeed it is. And I suppose that relieves us from having, well, for me, having to demonstrate how OP Protoss is against Terran.
Well, who
Oh,
knows?
I
think,
went there.
yeah. I'm struggling quite with Protoss at the time. It's kind of when I was in gold, I was just crushing every Protoss I met. But then the moment I got into Platinum League, every Protoss just got way better. Is it like?
We learned how to use storms and dodge EMP.
Yeah, that's the biggest difference actually.
Anyway, the map is Red City. It is not cross position, and I'm gonna let you introduce the players this time.
Thank you, Foxcode. In the top left corner, we have Destar, a concurrent or recurring player in the Team Bloodless tournaments. He often battles here for glory. And in the bottom left corner, we have Infligery. The other Protoss, I'm not going to call any colors because you can probably see that yourself.
Indeed, that is the case. And actually, I've already noticed one thing interesting. In Fligery's first pylon, and it's just in a bit of a weird position. I'm wondering if he's actually building it there so he can get like a Stargate a few centimeters closer, but he doesn't know where his opponent is, so maybe he just wants his first buildings there at the back to try and hide them. I'm really not sure. It just seems
I'm
a
not
bit
quite
odd.
sure. Maybe it's just for... I'm not quite sure.
It does
I agree,
seem
it's
that,
a weird placement.
yeah.
Destar also did something
Yes.
similar. I think they do that to prevent any movement in case of Zealot rushes, maybe. But I'm not quite sure.
Actually, that's a good point. Destar's pylon is protected quite nicely there, so that would be very strong against that. We will have to see both players scouting. In Fligery, and scouting slightly earlier than Destar, but unfortunately, Destar is going to get the luckiest scouting path and scout straight away his opponent,
Oh
which will
yeah.
be very useful for him.
You know, the good thing that we started with the CVZ is that now we'll have a PvP, and that means there will not be a mirror match in the last game. Whoop ass!
It does. Excellent. We do have both players going for 2 assimilators, so this is very unlikely to be a 4-gate, unless it's one of those new Korean 4-gates with where you only get like stalkers and nothing else ever, and it's just.
Well, yeah, well,
all
I've seen 4 gates with a lot of. It might still be an Immortal Sentry all in as well.
Could be.
Or
I'm confused.
it could also be a Stargate opening.
There's an
Uh,
important difference.
Yeah, Infligery hasn't gotten his. He hasn't gotten his gateway down.
Yes, that's very late. And also, Infligery's gone for 3 in each gas geyser, whereas his opponent, Destar, has just gone for 2, now going up to 3, which is a bit more standard.
Oh yeah.
Why is he getting so much gas early on? What's he using it for?
Maybe they want to make sentries. I mean, sentries are really good in 4 gates as well because you can actually prevent your opponent from reacting to you.
Oh yes, and actually, this sentry play is quite common when players go DT. They have a sentry just to help them hold a 4-gate, so until they get their Dark Shrine up. But I'm not sure what's going on. This is very unusual. Both players staying on 1 gateway, so neither going for the common 2-gate opener, which gives you a lot of map control with early stalkers. Both just probably going to go into some kind of tech. I would have to guess Stargate at this stage.
Oh yeah.
Now, Destar being very risky with that sentry moving in out. There could be stalkers on the map by now, but no, he's just walking down there.
Well, again, Destar he's making more sentries. I think that as I've seen more plays from him, he's probably gonna expand soon. He uses those sentries for defense, and yeah, there's expansion already thrown down. So
Oh yes, and
gonna
that is
see
actually,
from here.
I don't know how good that's going to be for him because Infligieri is building a Stargate in the back of his mace. That would be very, very hard to spot.
Oh yeah.
But it depends how, this could just be for a single Oracle, or he could be going for the Phoenix into expansion play. We'll have to see what he does. And to be honest, Sentry, not the best counter to that.
You know, even Void Rays are. I've seen a lot of people going in these PvP gold matchups. They've gone a lot of Void Rays in their 4-gate mix, or
Oh,
a
yes.
3-gate Void Ray is probably. But look look at Infliguri's Nexus. Can you see a bar over there?
Yes. A purple bar.
It's gone for me because I have the damage on because so
Oh.
when it's full, it's not there. So he can probably use like his chrono boost somewhat.
There is another important thing to note on the build here. It does seem that Desdart is going for kind of an old 3-gate Robo style, but still, this will allow him to get a lot of units early on. However, these
Oh.
sentries, that Zealot, it took out a sentry, that's really bad. And is it going to get away? It
Oh yeah,
does
both
take a
units
kill.
gets away actually.
That's a
They
nice
got a
little
sentry.
pick.
Yeah.
But more importantly, we have an Oracle coming across the map, and unfortunately for Desdar, he has gone Robo, which does not fare too well against Stargate play, it has to be said. Phoenixes can just lift up Immortals, and this Oracle is
Does have
probably
3
gonna get
gateways
the
though, so
main.
you can easily morph in 1 or 2 stalkers.
Oh,
You
yes.
can afford at least 1 stalker. Maybe 2
I-
soon. But he just morphed in Zealots, so
Oh,
he
no,
doesn't have
this
the money.
Oracle do a lot of damage. He's going to have to cast Photon Overcharge to get this away.
Oh,
And-
he got the Observer out right in time to scout the Oracle.
It is, mate. Oh, that's a lot of units going down. 5 probes already, 6,
8 actually. 9,
8, 9.
10.
Oh, that is so good. 9 probes. That's given him such a huge lead.
Oh
We
yeah,
now
that
have
Oracle has
Infligari.
earned herself a vacation.
Oh, yes. And she's going to take that in the top right of the map, it does look like, and probably poking again later. It's very good to just make your opponent feel threatened, because if he moves out now, he's going to be terrified that an Oracle's going to come back. He's going to have
Oh,
to
yeah.
leave units at home or something.
But you
and
know,
it's just...
Death Star he sent down an hallucinated Phoenix, and he saw there coming Void Rays out from Infliguri, and he even saw that Infliguri has done an expansion. So he a lot of important intel there from him.
Oh, yes. I'm not sure how this game is going to go now. I still think Infliguri has the advantage, not only because of his build, and that Observer has just seen that Oracle coming in, so he should be able to get in a position.
Oh yeah, Oracle coming in behind, distracting the enemy. And hopefully he's moving in. No, he's not. Could be a double-pronged attack, but he decided to wait.
Well, Destar has made a wise decision here. He's actually not building Immortals, which, to be honest, they are one of the worst things you can build against a Protoss player who has gone Stargate. Saying that, it does look like Infligari is warping in quite a lot of Stalkers of his own, and he wants to do a timing here. This could be really powerful, but the Mothership Core of Destar is on full energy, so he will be able to Photon Overcharge and should keep
Yeah,
him
I don't think Infliguri will break this as long as Death Star keeps defensive.
Oh,
He
yeah.
might do some poking and be able to expand behind that, because Death Star seems very defensive at the moment, just holding himself up in his base.
Oh yeah, and Desdar does scout this attack with the Hallucinated Phoenix, and Infligari is just going to back off a bit and play a macro style, which I think is a very good decision because he knows he's ahead, he knows he's killed 9 or 10 workers, and he can just macro up really. He could take a third now, which I think would be a great choice for him.
I think a little bit of Misrali here, maybe, with the Void Ray.
Oh
Unless
yes,
he wants to scout with it, which I doubt he is.
that would be a very expensive scouting unit.
It's not very fast either, so it's not very effective.
I suppose that if you absolutely have to see their army, it's going to live long enough so you can click on the minimap to see it. But
This is true.
I don't know. I'm starting to get worried by no alternate tech coming down from Destar. I mean, against Void Rays, my personal favourite is Storm. I mean, if they clump up, it's really, really good. But he needs something. He can't just stay on Immortals forever. It's not going to work.
I think maybe it might be that Death Star only has one build, I'm not quite sure, but he usually does something like this every time. And it's decent to learn one build, but and you can go with the same build, just do a couple of adjustments here and there to react to your opponent.
I'm not sure why Infligari is getting so many Stalkers. I would actually prefer a few more Zealots. They're a much better option when you know your opponent can potentially have Immortals, especially when you're not getting Phoenix to lift them. I mean, the Void Rays will deal the damage, but
Oh
Stalkers,
yeah.
not really that useful in this fight against Desda. I would much rather have a few Zealots because his ground army is going to get absolutely annihilated unless he gets these force fields really spot on.
That's true. I mean, there's almost, well, there are more Stalkers than there are Void Rays, but these 5 Void Rays can easily kill all the
Oh, yeah.
Stalkers. Just have your less hope he forgets to use the prismatic alignment. And
Well, even in that scenario, though, the problem is with this map, Red City, one reason a lot of Terrans hate it particularly is all these narrow points are very good for Protoss force fields, and I think that might be his plan. I think he's just going to try and force field the ground army of Desdar out while his Void Rays deal all the damage. And I mean, how many Stalkers is there on the field? There are 8 Stalkers for Desdar. That is nowhere near enough to take on 5 Void Rays. They will just melt.
oh yeah, he can see this though. He has an observer here, so he sees that there are Void Rays, there are Templars, and there are a lot of Stalkers. So Destar definitely knows. But
I'm still amazed he's not, pardon me, going for any other tech. It's very strange. I mean, his opponent is on a 3rd base, so
and
Infligari
now
is
he's going for
so
Robotics
much.
Bay.
Yeah, not well. Colossus, he does need some splash at some point, but I still don't know. He does have a lot of Stalkers, though. I think Infligari needs to be careful. Oh,
Yeah.
those Stalkers aren't
Oh,
going to
that
get
was
me.
nice.
And now we have the fight. He needs force fields on the ground. He doesn't get them. Those Zealots are going to rip apart Infligari's Stalkers. Not the best engagement for him at all.
No, I completely agree, but then again,
The
wow,
Void Rays, look
actually,
at the
Destar
power.
is crushing through this. I didn't expect that at all.
No, well, he needed the force fields. He didn't get the force fields. Why is the Void Rays running? They could kill 3 Stalkers. Engage! Oh no, and he's going to lose 2 Void Rays because of that. A Void Ray 1-on-1 absolutely destroys a Stalker.
Oh yeah,
I think retreating there was a really bad decision. I mean, 2 Void Rays, that's a big investment. Not at all the result we were expecting.
but then again, we have a Fleet Bacon and Templar Archives coming up for Infligari, so he has a flop, I suppose he has a mixed feeling of what to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think he should have won that fight. He didn't use his force fields. He might not have been looking at the battle at first, but
Yeah.
all those Zealots got around, destroyed most of his ground army, and
Oh,
then
yes.
he was a bit indecisive with his Void Rays, not taking advantage of how
Oh, and
OP
here
those
Destar is
things
pushing
are.
it with his giant army. I think
Oh,
maybe
yes.
this might be it.
There are, I don't know.
Unless he kills off all the Stalkers.
He has to kill
Infligari can kill off all the
Right.
Stalkers with it. He kills
It's not
some.
quite enough. Too many Stalkers now. Does he have
Oh,
a look
yeah.
to defend this? I don't think he does.
No.
Oh no, such a sad. He was so far ahead. But it does look like Destar now is going to take this win.
I see so. Well, a couple of more Stalkers coming in. He's
Stalk-
watching his Void Ray this time, and is it gonna die? I think it. Yeah, it's
Yes,
gonna
it
die.
does.
3 Immortals though. Doesn't matter how many Stalkers you have.
Oh
almost.
yes. I mean, Stalker's just not the right choice at all now. I'm surprised.
Oh yes.
I really think he lost that purely because of that micro in that engagement. It was not
Yeah,
the
it was
best.
everything. Destar used his force fields, but Infligari did not. Infligari.
Well
GG,
played.
well played from Infligari. We'll just gotta call him that.
Yes, therefore Destar has won this game, so he has won 2-1 and will be going up against our Zerg player from the previous brackets.
Oh yes. Nice. We're just gonna kick this player.
Kick. We don't serve your kind here. Yeah, that was a very weird game. I really don't think it should have gone that way, but it does show just that one bad engagement. It can turn it all around for you. I think that must be the first time in a month I think I've seen a Void Ray player lose to someone who goes Robo.
Yeah, I was so sure that Destar would lose that push, simply because there was so much Void Rays, and well, not too much, but those Void Rays alone could take on those 8 Stalkers.
Oh yes. You know, it's actually, even though he lost that engagement, when he still had about 3 Void Rays to the 3 Stalkers, if he turned and engaged there, he would have forced his opponent to just have to pull back, and he may have even gotten an Immortal, which would have prevented his final doom from occurring there, as he still did have the economic advantage, just micro. I think that's the lesson there.
Okay, I'm gonna pick 1!
You're going to pick 1, is that your number?
That's my number.
That's your number, okay.
Oh, Death Star is really close. He did.
He-
He. Now it doesn't matter who picks 50 because Death Star will be closest here.
So, of course, whichever player guesses the closest gets to choose the map first, which is a big factor, especially when it is not a mirror matchup.
Yeah.
So, in the case of PVZ, he's probably not going to choose a map like Star Station, where it is really hard to hold on to your third base. Probably, I would guess, either a map that's nice for two base all in. That's what I would expect.
Oh
in
yeah.
PVZ.
I think that would be wise from Death Star's perspective at least, but I know that he doesn't go for gate, or I haven't. I think I've seen him for gate once, maybe.
77.
Okay.
Okay, Death Star is closer, so our
He
first
is.
player will get to pick the first map. Ooh. Manara
I
saying
think
he
maybe
wants
I should keep making such extreme numbers because then it would be less safe to pick 50 or 51, maybe. Or
well,
it would be more fun.
what if I'm trying to think? Yeah, it's actually quite hard to come up with a completely random system.
He wants Akelon Frist. Akelon Frist it is.
Yes. Why is he saying Akelon? It's not called Akelon Frist.
He meant to
Akelon
say first. Yeah.
Oh, Akelon first. I was getting really confused there. Okay, so
Minori calling for a little short break. So just gonna wait a couple of seconds or minute or two.
yes, PVZ. And he has chosen quite a nice map for it. Of course, it's very annoying for Zerg. They usually have to take the third they don't want to take because there are rocks blocking the third base for Zerg. Unless you go all the way around, but it's so tempting to wall in as Protoss if you see a Zerg take their third base there.
Oh yeah.
It does have quite a wide natural ramp though, so Protoss is going to be very careful about their wall off in the early game. You could easily lose to some early Ling run bys. Very nasty.
Then again, I will predict maybe that at least one of them. Well, I think maybe I was going to say at least one of them is going blink, but then Testar is the only one who can. But I've seen him do that before on this map, and of course, as you Protoss really love to do that against Terran on this map, and I hate it. But anyways.
I'm actually I don't know about why he's chosen this map. I'm confused because it is quite a good map to go two base all in if Zerg's taking strange bases, but it's a very easy map for Protoss to take their third on. So maybe he actually wants to do the unthinkable and play out a macro game against a Zerg player.
Oh yeah. That could be it. I think Death Star he plays usually very safe when he takes his expansions, always going a little bit of gateways before going to the. I don't think he goes Nexus first, and we'll have to see really.
Nexus first, you have to be careful with. I mean, if you do it without scouting, you're just playing so dangerously. You deserve to die to a 6 pool, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
If you build the pylon at your natural and you scout at 9, you can scout in time and then decide, okay, can I go Nexus first or should I put the Forge down on 14? You get to make the decision as long as you remember to scout that spawning pool.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose so. Was it a Hiva that did this really ridiculous plays all through the last season of WCS, where he 6-pulled one game and just won because I think Grandmaster and Master plays are not used to playing against 6-pulls since most of
they
players
don't
go
see very
macro.
often.
Yeah, so when it actually happens, it's like, oh fuck. Now I remember why I had that wall and why I built the way I did. So.
Well, in this map, we do have in our bottom right location our purple Zerg. Minari, he is not 6-pooling as we are past that point in the game. And likewise, our Protoss in the top left, Death Star not doing any kind of early cheese or shenanigans yet. So, also going for that pylon there again. Maybe he does that in every matchup. He just likes that pylon in that spot.
Well, I think that's fair against Zerg.
Yeah.
Especially with Zerglings, you can limit their movements more than you actually think with just its small adjustment. But
It's
then
kind of-
again, yeah.
you've got to make the decisions because the disadvantage of putting it here is it provides less building space. I mean, it's kind of a hard balance to make sure you have enough pylons powering anything, so you don't have the massive Artosis pylon,
Oh yeah,
whilst kind of giving it enough area to build stuff. Otherwise, you can find yourself just building pylons purely so you have building space, and that can get quite frustrating.
I agree. It's more like a useful thing to do as a turn, but then again, you want to wall off usually anyway. So
In the bottom right, we do have Minari taking gas before Pool, and Pool going down just now, so he is very safe against any early aggro that Protoss could potentially throw. And
yeah.
that might be useful given that Destar is going for a gateway expand, and a gateway expand with 2 gas guys no less. That is very non-standard, I should say. 2 gas with a gateway expand? There's got to be some very serious aggression coming from him here.
yeah, I think so. Do you see an expand somewhere?
Not from either player yet, but of course Minari is playing very safe at the moment. However,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Destar is actually having a nice scouting timing here to check, and he hasn't seen any bases. And there should have been a base right now if... I mean, 3 minutes, the should definitely be a base there
yeah.
if you're Zerg.
Destar's doing one thing not intentionally. He's actually queuing about 4 probes at a time, which is stopping him from building his cybercore. Which is a bit strange. If you go for that much gas, I imagine you would want your cybercore as soon as possible. I suppose it could be just a very specific build order he's using, but it does seem a little bit strange. And he's got to be worried that Zerg's not expanding it. This is very non-typical Zerg play.
Yeah, with this fast of a circling speed, and yeah, he's not gonna mind anything of that gas. I think he's just going to go mass circling all in.
I think you might be right, and without a wall off, that could be very hard to hold. I mean, Destar is getting all this gas, but that suggests, I don't know, he could go for some kind of tech play, but this is very weird. I would have expected like a lot of early stalkers and trying to push before link speed, but with the way Minari's playing, this could go quite well for him.
Yeah, I definitely support the decision of just waiting out, and he's immediately making a mothership core, so I don't think this push is gonna do too much. There are 2 sellers on the field just now.
He's going to try and... He might be able to kill this Nexus, stop it from being placed, though. The Mothership core will do some damage.
Yeah, I think he was sending down his sellers, but he stopped. Maybe they didn't want to work for him anymore.
Are on strike now. The Zealots are going to come in here. Oh, and the speed is finished, instantly cancelling.
Yeah.
Oh, these Zealots, are they going to get surrounded? No, the Lings just go right by it and are going to go straight into the mineral line. Oh, he's not mineral tricking his probes. He could lose quite a lot here. Oh, no.
Oh my god, none of those links actually die quick enough.
No, they haven't. And, I mean, he is going to kill them off, but he's lost 10 workers. 10 workers.
Now he's expanding. Huge. He's actually done more than he needed to.
Oh, yes, way more. I mean, if we take a look at the income tab here, Minari is 20 drones to 13 probes, and in the early game, really, Protoss should have more workers with using the Chrono Boost, so this is a very nasty position for him. He's now got a load of gas that he can't really use for anything. I'm not sure what his follow-up is from here. He might just decide to go one base all in.
Well, yeah, I would definitely do that, because now he's just lost his Nexus, and he hasn't tried to put that up again. And the Zerglings were so cost-effective. He lost 9 Zerglings to 10 probes. That's a pretty big deal.
The problem here, though, is if Minari is scouting well, and he does have his Overlord there, there's no wall-off at all for Destar at his natural, so he's going to have an extremely hard time getting this natural up. He is building sentries, which will help him out a little bit, but really, he needs a wall of buildings, and on 18 workers to 30, he just can't afford that right now.
No. And,
oh, wow, he's actually going for the Robo? Ooh, I really actually don't like this idea. If it was earlier, it would be okay, because he could do some kind of Immortal all-in, but with the time this is going to come up, if our Zerg player does decide to go for Mutalisk play or anything along those lines, he's just going to have no answer to it. So this is very dangerous.
Destar is going for an expansion. And, well, even though Minari did a lot of damage, he did expand pretty late. So But anyways, he's way ahead, getting that Nexus cancel, even though I don't think Destar actually had to cancel that.
Oh yeah, and actually interesting, Minari is going to take the harder to take third base. He must be confident that he's done quite a lot of damage, so he has the time to break these rocks and then break the other rocks, and then he knows his third is nice and safe against any of the really evil Protoss 2 base all-ins.
Oh yeah, and Destar's sending out his observer right now. He wants to see what's going on. That's pretty nice actually. I think Destar is he's better at scouting than most gold players. I don't think Minari actually has scouted at all, aside from his one more there.
I've worked out what Destar is doing as soon as he started that Immortal. He's going Parting's Immortal Sentry all in. He's doing that, but it's going to be very late. You're meant to do that on 6 or 7 gateways. Destar only has 2. I don't know. This is going to be very, very difficult for him. He's just going to have way fewer units than he should have. And, I mean, Minari will have 3 hatches up by the time that hits, so he will be able to just respond, I think.
Let's see what this observer can see. He sees a couple of overlords. Nice. Now he knows he's probably not supply blocked. Hopefully.
And Minari playing very safe, going for a spawn in each base, just in case there's any DTs, because he knows he has the advantage. He knows he can spend a few minerals on just making himself safer against any surprise players, like maybe a surprise Oracle or the surprise Dark Templar, which probably would have been a very powerful option, actually, but instead, going for this Immortal push, I just don't think he has enough gateways.
No, but then again, Destar saw everything. He saw everything that Minari had. All cards are revealed. Aside from the natural, but you can see the creep there, so that's a given.
Oh, I like that. Minari putting down a Baneling. That's not a common price at all against Protoss. However, it can actually work here, especially when you don't have enough gateways to get the sentries out. If you get Banelings into that, it's just very effective. And oh, Destar being temperamental, actually building a Dark Shrine, even though he scouted the Spore Crawlers already built.
How many Spore Crawlers were there? There were one in one in each base.
I don't know. I don't think this is a good idea. It seems like he's indecisive. It looked like he wanted to go for some Immortal attack, but now he's basically telling himself he can't do that. It's a very strange play. I have a feeling he's not used to playing from these awkward positions, and he does have a War Prism in the bottom left of the map, so maybe he's going for the DT War Prism. He might be able to do some damage if he micros it perfectly, but it's going to be very difficult for him. Ooh. I'm getting a bit scared looking at the worker count. Actually, 73 drones to 35 probes.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's a very, very
the supply count in itself. I think it's just mostly drones that are in that are ahead in.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The problem here is these DTs are going to have to kill literally 20 drones at least to balance this game up. It's a tall order. They're going to be working overtime, definitely.
I mean, he can get that Spore Crawler down in time for the reinforcements to properly kill it off, I suppose, if he has 2 Dark Templars. But it doesn't take long to and Minari morphs in more Overseers, so I don't think this push is going to do much.
Oh yeah. You know, one thing he could do, though, it would be very ballsy, is if he managed to get DTs into the main of his opponent, even if they didn't really do very much, he might be able to pull his opponent's army back while he got into a base, force-fielded and killed it. But, I mean, that would take some balls to walk across the map in the position he's in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Start now up to 5 gates.
I don't know. With the spores there, I can't see this doing too much damage.
No, I agree. He might be able to pick up some queens or something. Like this one. I think basically should.
Yeah, there's roaches and overseers all around the place. I just can't see these Dark Templar
he's going for the 4th. And he's probably
he might actually get it, yes. The DPS of Dark Templar are very, very high. He's going to have to move straight away. Can he get there quick enough? Oh, no, this could actually be nice for him.
No, he's not going to get that.
Oh, the Baneling's being used on the Dark Templars. Very nice. Yeah, so the hatchery does survive. More Dark Templars morphing in, but they are walking home. He might just keep them as DTs, or more likely he'll probably morph them into Archons, I would expect.
You know, Minari, he's playing very well here.
Oh yeah, nice and safe. He's just getting his tech up, getting the double upgrades. The Hydra range upgrade has been such a crucial thing, so he's just going to go for the nice, strong Roach Hydra play. And without Colossus or any form of splash damage, Destar is Well, he's gonna need some Gosu force fields, man.
Yeah, especially against these many Hydras. He got the Immortals to handle all the roaches, and if he uses those sentries properly, he has a couple of sentries, then he can split his army off and kill a lot of stuff, but it requires a lot of micro.
Oh yes, I mean,
This
even,
is
yeah.
such a huge number of Roach Hydra.
I mean, this map is good for Protoss expanding, but when the army values are this different, I mean, we have army mineral count at 4,800 for Minari to the 3,000 of Protoss, but those Archons could help out a little bit, but I still think he needs some form of splash, and he's just nowhere near. He doesn't have support bay, he doesn't have the Templar Archives, he's just adding on a ton of gateways.
Yeah.
Look at the supply. 114 to 190, and I have a feeling that's about to change very drastically in a second. Oh no, look at the upgrades as well. 2-2 for the Zerg player against 0-0 of Protoss.
Yeah,
that is never a position. I think this is just going to smash through here like a hammer. It's just going to destroy everything.
There's just completely a numbers game. Even though I kind of feel like his composition is better, but he just doesn't have enough units.
He didn't use any of his force fields either. I mean, he got Time Warp if he force fielded. The Archons could have got some nice shots off, but there's just way too much there. GG. First game going to Minari. Just getting those early lings just do so much damage.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hopefully our Protoss player can bring it back in game 2, but he's going to have to play a little bit safer than he did. I mean, Minari played a style that made him very safe against early aggression, but it also gave him the opportunity to be aggressive himself. And when he scouted no wall off and very late Cybercore and all that, he just thought he'd go for it, and it worked out for him.
Oh yeah. I kind of like the opening of Minari, kind of risky. But it did work out for him. It could have been very bad because if that dude called Death Star,
Death Star,
if he got his probes properly surrounded or positioned, he could have gotten this down pretty well. And
he needed to mineral trick against those lings, and he just wasn't there quick enough. But the early speed as well made that so difficult for him.
Yeah, but then again, I think maybe the deciding factor wasn't the cancelling the Nexus. He shouldn't have done that. He should have waited a little bit longer and see.
Yeah, well, at the very least, he could have. If the Zerglings were going to go for that Nexus, it would have given him time in his main to maybe get up an extra Zealot or prepare to micro.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we will be going into game 2 of the finals. Death Star currently down 1-0 to Minari. Let's see what he does. He's going to have to pull out something nice, but Minari choosing a very big map, strong for Zerg, Whirlwind. Ooh, we are probably going to see a macro game here, guys.
We're most likely going to see a macro game, and we have for the last 2 battles, haven't we?
Oh yes. Well, I mean, Death Star, if he was going to cheese on this map, it's just so risky. I mean, you could go crazy and build your gateways in the middle of the map, but I mean, it's just not going to work. That you can't really cheese.
The distance is too high. I mean, some Terrans do this where they put their Reaper proxies in the middle.
Oh yeah.
And it kind of works with Reapers, but it's still a long distance even for Reapers. So I don't see Celes working with this.
Indeed. Now, this time we do not have cross positions, so maybe a slightly shorter game, but still, Whirlwind is a very big map, and I think Zerg will just be looking to take the early third base here.
Oh yeah.
So, in the top left, we have our green Protoss player, Death Star. He's got to win this match. In the top right, our pink Zerg this time, changing up the colours, we have Minari.
Minari! I was so... I kind of misclicked the button there because just the moment you said Death Star, I think I pressed 1 or 2 or something, and then I immediately jumped to Minari.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, that's how we cast. That's how we roll.
Plan. Minari actually going to scout cross position first, which I never understand. What is the logic in this?
Oh, I mean, since it is random, it could be anywhere. So You should just go for the closest base.
Yes, you should, because you should go for the two closest first, because by elimination, of course, you can work it out if it's cross position. I mean, generally,
Yeah,
it's a
if it's
good
cross
idea
position,
it's-
you know we have more time anyways.
Yes. And I do think Minari, well, I don't know. I thought last time he was going to go hatch first, but he surprised me with that very early gas and early pool. But with the size of this map, he could very easily do it. Now, Death Star, actually, with this probe... Oh, is it? No, it's not. If it went too close to that Overlord, he'd get a very nice tell on where his opponent was, and that would give him a very nice opportunity for some early pressure with that knowledge, but he's not
Oh,
going to
yeah.
scout.
That's
And
actually pretty nice versus Zerg. Just if you find the Overlord, you know immediately where he is.
oh yes, and Minari is going to scout the top left location last, so he will know his opponent is up there eventually. But I mean, if he